All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna head in to game number 6. Team Limit just came off a loss versus Flash Wolves, and this game right here could decide how this group ends. Got Misfits Gaming versus Team World Elite. It's going to be, Team World Elite definitely the favorites. Team World Elite have been playing insanely well. The last time these teams faced off, then Misfits got completely smack-ruled. They got smashed, and everyone were just counting out Misfits from the tournament, and they looked horrendous. So if we're looking at this one, we start off the draft with, whoa, this is a mistake. This is a mistake. Oh, this is a big mistake. Picking Jana here is a mistake. Okay, Misfits, the game they had against, who was it? The game they had against TSM, now that was crazy, man. They stomped them so hard in the early game, but then like the Yasuo was useless and their comp didn't have ardent sensor, and it just looked horrible. So that was crazy. That was crazy to see for sure. Let's just head into this game. Just take a look at the draft. The first thing that happened here is Jana first pick. Well, the reason I think it's garbage, the reason I think it's horrible, is because Xayah's banned. Xayah's banned, and unless Misfits decide to play Caitlyn, I don't think it's going to be that good. So World Elite right now can just pick the Kog'Maw and line up for the Lulu, and it's going to be good times. The draft is pretty straightforward, and I think Misfits fucked up here by not picking Lulu. I think they should have picked Lulu. They should have definitely picked Lulu, and I think Jana goes down in value when Xayah's banned, and then Lulu goes up in value, because the ADs that are going to be played in the game is Tristana Kog'Maw, and Lulu is going to win both sides of that matchup. So Lulu Kog'Maw wins, Lulu Tristana wins. So I think that's a massive mistake. I guess Varus is also a way to approach it. I think that works too. Like Gragas will be the third pick, hopefully, from Misfits. Okay, Rek'Sai is the one. That's fine too. Misfits are going for a more early game oriented composition. I think that's fine. A fine approach when you're playing against Lulu Kog'Maw, and with the Rek'Sai Varus, they have a little bit more early game power, but of course they will fall off a lot harder than World Elite will. So right now we can see that Misfits, they need to accomplish things in the early game, and World Elite just need to scale into this game and not lose too hard in the early game. So very important here what the mid lane pick will be. I think Talia can be very good for both sides, because Talia can alleviate a little pressure and also create a lot of pressure together with his Misfits roster. So I feel like if a team is going to pick up Talia here, it's a good one. A Corki package could also help a lot. Corki with TP is something that has been very impactful. We see Gnar as a ban. Okay, that's a potential blind pick for Misfits. If anything, Jarvan is out, and I don't think 957 is playing a lot of Jace. Rumble is banned. Rumble is a champion that World Elite played earlier, but I don't even think that World Elite want to play Rumble that badly with these champs that they have on their team. Ryze is the last ban of Misfits. I think it looks like Misfits want to go for Talia here. Like, Talia would fit very well, in my opinion. Lucian. Ooh. Orianna's banned, so that's like a decent pickup against Lucian, right? And I think if Lucian is locked in here, Misfits will respond with Cassiopeia. But that isn't necessarily like a free win either for Cassiopeia, right? This is a pretty even matchup, I would say. But Cassiopeia is probably one of the better picks in the Lucian. Talia could also work, I think, but she struggles against Lucian later on, like post level 7, I think. Talia can struggle, and even early levels, Talia is not that good against Lucian the more and more I think about it. Cassiopeia will be the one. Cassiopeia is probably the best champion in the Misfits champion pool to pick against Lucian. And then the blind pick, like the Cho'Gath is not that great to blind pick. Gnar would be a good option, but Cho'Gath is not going to have a good time here. Definitely not going to have a good time. Okay, yeah, I think it works better, because they're lacking a lot of engage on their team here. I think if they pick Cho'Gath, he's just going to run around, and the only engage will be Varus Ultimate and Rek'Sai E, and that's like not good enough, I feel, not good enough. World Elite are going to be the ones with the Cho'Gath this time around. They wanted to round up the composition with some AP damage up top, because they got the Kog'Maw AD and then the Lucian. Kog'Maw is probably like 70-30, at least early game before he reaches Blade in terms of DPS numbers, and then Lucian kind of supplies that very well. We've seen a lot of Lucian bans when Kog'Maw's been in the picture, like a lot of Lucian bans right here, and I definitely felt like it was an option, a potential Lucian ban. Like we've seen a lot of Lucian bans in this tournament. I've lost track of how many, but I'm like getting flashbacks of multiple bans. So once again, you know, Misfits heavily relying on creating a lot of pressure early on. Varus and Janna bottom. I don't know how convincing it is because they're playing against Lulu. How convincing it is that they win bottom, but I think Kog'Maw Lulu should be able to like do great things, like level 3, level 5, and then what Varus Janna wants to do is they want to catch Lulu with the Varus ultimate and then gank it. I think that would be the approach. Rek'Sai, you know, should probably pressure mid lane early on, I feel, and then maybe set something up with Maokai. That's also a good gank they can pull off. But either way, like they just need to create an advantage somehow. They need to create an advantage with Rek'Sai, and if they don't, then they're gonna get heavily outscaled in every lane, I would say. Like Maokai, sure, he scales into the game fine, just fine, but you know, overall, World Elite, I think they outscale by quite a margin when it comes to the later stages of the game. Like Varus, we've seen Varus kill a lot of tanks, and it looked pretty good to do so. You know, sure, against Sejuani, Cho'Gath, Varus is gonna pull up a lot of damage, and Cassiopeia can also DPS a lot of tanks. But the problem here is that Misfits don't really have a real way to deal with the Kog'Maw, especially since his Kog'Maw is running cleanse. I love the fact that he has cleanse. The only way he dies is that Maokai catches him and Varus catches him. So I think even in the bot lane, you know, it makes a lot of sense here. They might be a little bit weaker in the early trades, but you know, Hans Sama's running Fervor, so it's completely fine. I think if you run anything else but Fervor on Varus, then you're going to be completely useless, especially with the games with Rage Blade, so you stack it quite fast. Alright. It's going to be interesting, for sure. Interesting for sure. I'm not too convinced by Misfits comp here, but it worked out against Flash Fools. But even in the game against Flash Fools, you know, that was lucky, I would say, because they made that one play. Not lucky because they did a great play, but if Flash Fools played around it properly, then all of a sudden their composition wouldn't be as useful. So Misfits, if they are ahead and World Elite need to engage on them, definitely they are once again in a similar situation as the Flash Wolves game. So it's important that Misfits gain an advantage here, and World Elite don't fall too far behind here. I think Lucian is enabling them with a lot of options, because I think Lucian does fine into Cassiopeia, and I love the fact that he's actually going Door and Shield against Cassie, because I think that completely destroys Cassiopeia in the early game. She needs to get tier now in order to have enough damage to push him out of lane. Okay, Mystic is happy going on into this all-in because of Warlord's Bloodlust, but this is holy moly, this is so close. Oh no, holy moly, the Fervor is doing shit ton of damage. Oof. Misfits. Then has Flash. You know, I don't know, going into this all-in is not that great, because, you know, I think walking up there was a mistake. Like, this trade was completely fine right there, boom. And then they walk away and use the fact that they have Warlord's Bloodlust. But when he walks up too far here, Hans Sama has his Fervor stacks. You know, his fists are gonna turn like brown or something soon. Good barrier, removes a lot of damage, the auto attack from Mystic, and then Ben is just stuck in the mix because he's trying too hard to break the shields here. The barrier comes in, and then the Janna shield comes in as well, and Ben is tagging a lot of creeps here, and so is Misfits, but it's all fine. Very well played from Misfits, but I think Mystic overstepped here. This was the point where the trade was fine, because they had Warlords and 3 potions. Right there, boom, the trade was okay. The trade was okay. Walk back, use the fact that you have Warlord's Bloodlust. Nothing else. Be happy. You know, but now the walk up is, you know, the creeps are shooting Mystic, the creeps are punching him, and Hans Sama has his barrier as well. You know, Mystic is running Cleanse. Like, he's running Cleanse in this case, and Misfits just have more useful summoners. They have Fervor. They also were the ones not tanking the creeps for the majority of that engagement, so Well played from Misfits, well responded. But Mystic, of course, that was a mistake. Overstep. Both flashes up here, so Condi's gank is not as scary as it might seem. A big difference here is that World Elite didn't leash, so they should know the Sejuani could potentially be here. Let's see if Condi gets anything but a flash from Ignar. Nope, just a flash from Ignar. It's all good, it's all good. The lane situation isn't that horrible now for World Elite because Misfits didn't get anything out of it. They couldn't base, they couldn't really get ahead in any way. It feels like most ADs go for Relic Shield when Xayah is not in the picture. When Xayah is in the picture, we don't see Relic Shield from both sides. Whoa, 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 this is crazy. Oh! Holy moly. Oof. Okay. This is crazy, man. Let's take a step back and take a look at this. So, camera transitions. Like, I'm not giving a shit about what's happening elsewhere. Like, Maxwell is taking golems. Who cares? So, we had the trade going. Ben gets hit very hard by a turret shot as well. All spells from Hans Sama. Mystic is tanking melee creeps. And then Hans Sama survives with how much HP? Survives with how much HP? But the trade is not even good to begin with, right? Like, Mystic is flashing for this. And Hans Sama, like, let's say Mystic kills him. Let's say Mystic kills him, he dies 1-for-1. Then it's not that exciting. But then maybe Ignar would have died. Ignar might have died as well. So if he goes 1-for-1 and Ignar dies too, then it's pretty insane. Okay. Like, it's really, really close, right? Obviously it's a mistake because he doesn't die, but because maybe if he's if he was punching Janna would have just ran away earlier. Yeah, it's a delicate situation. It's hard to I think the biggest mistake from World Elite was the fact that he took the turret shot, and then the rest of it was fine, and then Mystic was auto-attacking Hans Sama during this entire ordeal. And maybe Hans Sama followed Ben too far. Maybe he should have queued Mystic instead. Because instead of queuing Ben here, he just queues Mystic and starts hitting him. And maybe that would have been enough. Like, instead of queuing Ben here, he just queues Mystic and starts auto-attacking him, and maybe it would have been better. Because maybe he just follows Ben too far. Like, this was a good trade, and then right now Mystic is in pretty bad position. But then he's like walking up a bit too far, I think Hans Sama is. But then it works out like 1-for-1, but Ben gets to push or CS or whatever you want to call it. Like, Hans Sama needs to recall, but yeah, Condi is not in time. So this trade in the long run is going to, like, if you only look at this trade, then gold-wise it's in favor of World Elite because of the wave position, I think. I want to see the wave position. I don't know if it's frozen or not. But it matters, of course, as well that Varus was the one that got the kill. Lulu got the kill here, and Varus has a recurve bow against Kull. So even though, you know, Lulu got the kill, it wasn't the best case scenario. I feel like Misfits are very happy with having so much battling going on in bottom because they have Fervor and they also have the aggressive summoners. So it's definitely easy for World Elite to lose these fights. World Elite went for the flash, that didn't pay off, so obviously it was a mistake, and now the game is going to be a lot harder bottom, I feel. Like, Mystic is doing a lot of good trades, but except this one. Like, the trade before was good, like right here, it was really good what they did. But right now, you know, Mystic needs to know when it's enough. Like here, he just goes for another trade for no reason. And Lulu had no spells, and Janna had shield, so I'm really unhappy with the second trade that they're doing. During this entire ordeal, like, I don't know what was going on. Like, Condi is level 4 to Rek'Sai's level 5. What happened was that Rek'Sai stole topside golems, but Condi also stole enemy golems, right? So, feel like we need to take a step back and look at what the junglers did. I know, like, Maxlor got a leash on red, okay? Maxlor got a leash on red, into Raptor, into taking wolves, into Crab, while Sejuani cleared entire topside camps, except, so Sejuani did red, Raptor, blue, bottom side, while Rek'Sai did full clear except golems and enemy golems. So it's in theory full clear. Sejuani is slightly behind on her clear because she did like the money camps a bit later. Raptor spawns and then Rek'Sai is here. Okay. Alright, let's play the clip. Rek'Sai swooping in. He did his bot side and his wolves, and now he's coming down bot side. I don't even know if he did wolves. Maybe they're spawning right now. He went into bot side instead. Sejuani is there too, but Sejuani did like the less efficient clear in terms of timing. Like Rek'Sai is gonna be slightly ahead because his camp spawn faster. And then Sejuani down bottom here. Ooh, barrier is used. Ooh. Okay. Is Parvil dead? No flash. Okay. So Maxlor was ahead on tempo because his camp spawned earlier. I just want to take a step back and just for sure assess the situation here with Rek'Sai. So Maxlor's level 4 now. Condi is doing his bottom side camps. And Condi... Yeah, Condi doesn't even do golems bottom. That is why Condi is behind. Condi doesn't do golems bot side. He is just walking into bottom to check if Varus didn't recall. And then now Rek'Sai did golems and now he does raptors. So he's 2 camps ahead. Right? So he did 2 camps that Sejuani didn't do, so in theory he's like 4 up, right? Sejuani is doing raptor, Max was level 5, Condi is level 4, and then Condi is walking towards bottom side now, which is fine, I guess. He doesn't lose anything doing it. He loses the golem spawn, and then Rek'Sai is here ahead of time because Condi started the base after golems, and Rek'Sai was just ahead on tempo when it came to the base. Okay, now it makes sense. Now we are all on the same page. Maxlor is ahead on tempo. Condi did raptors and did something that was more of a topside clear and was just behind here. Ignar started tanking the turret, which was very beautifully done. It allowed Maxlor to put out full damage. And then here, the flash. Oof. I think Ben is just walking up a bit too far. Like the damage from Rek'Sai, he has his fervor stacks. Like he's fully stacked on fervor right now. And I think Hansama also has plenty of them. I don't know if Zai could flash here and Q. I think so. Like if he flash Q'd, I think he would have gotten a kill, but I might be wrong. He doesn't have items. He only has door and shield. Only has door and shield, but nevertheless, like Zai is he's winning the mid lane. Lucian is winning mid lane. I'm gonna just stop pronouncing his name because I'm not too good at it. So right now, Misfits are getting the lead that they need. Maxwell is quite fed. Varus is quite fed. Ignar is gonna have the earliest Ardent Sensor that we've seen this tournament, I think. Has to be the earliest Ardent Sensor we've seen this tournament, right? Like, he's gonna get Ardent Sensor at like, I don't know, 8 minutes. It's gonna be crazy, crazy, crazy. Power Evil now under pressure in mid lane. Lucian is like the key to victory here. We don't know what's going on top lane. Lucian versus Cassiopeia, 3 for 10 record summer globally. Okay. That doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything. But yeah, Cassiopeia is good against Lucian. Not against this Lucian though, look at those mechanics. It does help that Power of Evil has a tier now, because without the tier he doesn't have enough damage to kill Lucian, because of the door and shield, right, and other reasons too. She's very mana reliant. So now with the tier it kind of changes the matchup a little bit. It's also that the cleanse is pretty useless in the 1v1. Like the fact that Cassiopeia needs to run cleanse is pretty rough for her. Like if we compare Varos items to Kog'Maw items, it's pretty crazy. We just need to pay attention as well when Ardent Sense is finished on Janna, because it's going to be very, very soon. Especially because Misfits have the freaking Relic Shield as well. You can see Misfits, you know, Misfits with their priority from bottom, they can create a lot of pressure. Maxwell is also ahead, and 3v3 they can beat anyone. Like World Elite's bot lane is pretty useless right now. Ardent Sense have finished now, 8:30. Crazy stuff. Top lane is top lane, we don't care about that, we don't have to talk about it. Mid lane seems to have shifted a little bit now that Power of Evil has his tier. It doesn't seem too bad. Like Power of Evil is just pushing the wave and regaining mana. And Misfits are just getting bottom tower here. Crazy stuff, it's working out for them. The Varos pickup definitely worked, and you have to put World Elite's summoner choice into question here. There was a lot of these small engagements and small fights that I thought that World Elite, some of it they did well, and they could have backed off at a lot of times, but they didn't. And the fact that the enemy team had Fervor, they also had a barrier over Mystic, and Mystic just didn't respect that. He didn't respect that at all, went too far, went for flash plays that didn't work out, and now he's here. Maxwell was also more efficient in his jungle clear, managed to get 2 golden camps while Kondi got none of them, and then Maxwell was over 5 and was also faster to the fight engagement, and that matters too. You can see Power of Evil definite change in his matchup here after he got his tier. He actually has a threat onto Lucian, and he's actually trading back very well. Lucian needs to play a bit more careful. Like, sure, he has heal, but he doesn't have a cleanse for the Cassie ult. I think it's not necessary, but it requires you to play a little bit different, especially when you cull, because you cull in a direction, right? And that's a turn. Ooh, okay, no mana left on Power Wheel. Max has flash. Will he go for this? No, Ben is in position. Okay. Varus is soloing Drake, it seems. Ginsu's Rage Blade already done. Holy shit, Varus and Ignar, like Varus and Janna are crazy fat. I don't know if it's good for them to stay around bot lane though, because they could have pressured into top and maybe potentially got on a tower already, because this Kog'Maw is kind of freezing the lane. And Kog'Maw can freeze here and not be in trouble, because Misfits are doing Drake and doing this type of shit, you know. Misfits, World Elite is not pushing the lane out too far, and I feel like if Misfits just swapped into top side, it would have been better. Holy shit, I'm stumbling on my words, my throat has given up on me. But it's okay. It's okay. I can get healthy some other day. This is Group D. Group D. Let's see what comes next. Maokai and Cho'Gath just CSing. Cho'Gath with a minor lead. That minor lead is equalized by the fact that Maokai has some third money in his bank. Misfits now swapping the top lane at a worse time, I would say, because you know Kog'Maw and Lulu are already pushing and Cho'Gath is already killing the top wave. So we're the leader right now. They're ahead in tempo. Maybe they can get some hits off of the bottom tower, but I think the swap is not that good by Misfits. The situation before was just better. They push a wave in, okay, but Kog'Maw and Lulu are already here. We're gonna push in the next wave, and Maokai starts recalling maybe at a bad time, but I don't know if he could stop Cho'Gath from pushing in the wave. Probably not. 1 second. Probably not. Like, so Maokai's base is reasonable. He probably couldn't stop Cho'Gath from doing anything. But the main issue here is that Kog'Maw Lulu are bottom, and they have a big priority swing here. Maybe they can hit bottom tower a little bit. Yeah, they can. And you can see on top side, like Varus and Janna, they are not hitting anything yet, so it's gonna take them some time to catch back up here. Maybe World Elite can make some TP play, because Sejuani is also ahead on tempo. Like if Sejuani can make a dive play on Maokai, I think that needs to be done here. I feel like Sejuani should be in position to dive this Maokai the next wave that hits, and then like they just put a ward behind and then just There's a TP for it. Well, this works too. Alfari is in a bit of trouble. Condi needs to get him CC'd. Condi, use your spells, brother. There we go, that's one spell. And then into the ultimate. 957's tanking the tower, but it doesn't seem to matter. He's pretty tonky. Top tower is now dead because World Elite spent a lot of time hitting, of course, Cho'Gath, but his mid lane tower. That's the objective for Misfits now, because nobody's defending top. Varus could have cleared that for free, and then good response from Misfits. They just respond by going into mid lane, and I like this response a lot. Lucian, you can see on the minimap that he's getting caught off, and he's forced off the mid lane wave, and Varus being alone top, knowing that Cho'Gath TP'd in, it's a very easy way for him to just take the top tower for free. And World Elite didn't even get the bot tower and spent a lot of time killing the Maokai, and Misfits just rotate into mid lane here. And this is dead Lucian. Holy moly, Misfits. I don't know if Sejuani could have dove in this earlier. Maybe that is what is the mistake. Like if Sejuani is already bottom side, maybe they could have dove in even earlier. Because right now they have this wave advantage, but Sejuani is doing her red buff. Also, like Misfits do have like a good ward line, so they would probably have spotted Sejuani if she's trying to go bot side. Hard to see a way for Sejuani to be here earlier. Okay. Well, the moment Sejuani is spotted bottom side and Cho'Gath starts to channel his TP, you can see Janna is walking towards mid. Rek'Sai is doing the same, they're just giving bottom up, and Alfari is surviving for such a long time and they have no wave, so it's very well done here from Misfits. Like, even if Alfari dies, it's 100% worth it. Thank you, baby. Like, it's 100% worth it. They get mid tower and they make a very good macro play here from Misfits, especially since they get a kill here on Lucian too. Like, they get the mid tower, they get a kill, and eventually Kog'Maw gets bottom tower, and you know, maybe all things considered is not that bad for World Elite, because you know, they are at a massive gold disparity, but you know, Misfits are getting so much here, so much, and it's hard to imagine that they would get like the same amount of shit if they didn't. But you know, what would be the other play? The other play would be Kog'Maw and Lulu go into mid lane, and then Misfits get top tower for free. Is this the other play? It's really sad, right? They just give top tower for free. In this case, they get bottom tower, they get enough money for Rage Blade of Kog'Maw, and Misfits, you know, with the TP bottom secured, like World Elite TP in bottom, secured the bottom tower, but Misfits got top tower and mid tower and Rift Herald. I just can't help but feel that this would have happened anyway, because what would the other play for World Elite would be? Kog'Maw Lulu pushes in bottom, Maokai pushes out bottom, because World Elite's bot lane is going to go into mid lane, then defend mid lane, but meanwhile this happens, Varus gets top tower, then someone has to catch top, and then Misfits will rotate into mid lane, and the scenario is going to look very similar. But Misfits would have Rift Herald during this time, and they would be able to use it in mid lane to get mid tower. And then, with all things considered, they wouldn't have gotten the bot tower. So the trade-off for World Elite is the best thing that could have happened, right? Yeah, I think the trade-off, like 2 turrets for 1, and then the enemy team gets Rift Herald, I think this is the best thing they could have hoped for. Like, sure, they could have hoped for better things, like, yeah, we get Nashor and 5 turrets, but I feel like it is the best case scenario for them here. Varus is top side, Cho'Gath wouldn't be able to defend, no way against Janna Varus, they would have probably been able to dive him, and then, you know, they rotate into mid lane, Varus clears top side all by himself. If Lulu and Kog'Maw went into mid, Maokai would have pushed out bottom, Cho'Gath would have to catch, Maokai roam into mid, and then Varus from top into mid, someone would catch top, probably the Kog'Maw, and same scenario for sure. It would have been slower, sure, it would have taken a bit more time for Misfits to finally kill him, but all in all, you know, Oh, what is this? Max lore. Come on, man. What's happening here? Oh, it's a bait. Cassiopeia. Oh. What's up with LPL Lucians, man? They're just dying so much for no reason. Shit. Oh, Shatisha must be tilted watching this, man. Misfits. Playing this aggressive composition. All these early trades in the bot lane. Definitely working out for them. Fantastic here from Misfits. If Misfits take this, they have a chance to get first seed. Imagine getting first seed. Misfits first seed. All pick'ems are dead. All pick'ems are dead, man. For sure, all pick'ems are dead. I'm sure there is... How many combinations of pick'ems are there? There's probably like a million. Like some are easy to put though. So it decreases the variable. Ooh. Maxo still didn't knock him up, right? That's the thing. Like, he didn't knock Lucian up. So there's no like debuff on Lucian that he can't knock him up again. So he goes for the knockup. Clean play now from Misfits. They are very happy that Infernal Drake is the one that's spawning. Ardent Sense is finished on Kog'Maw. Kog'Maw is not that far behind. Like, if you compare him to Varus, like he still has some items like Berserker Greaves, and Varus probably has like almost Hurricane in base. So that's the thing that he has in his favor. Lucian is gonna have a hard time being effective in this game. Like, he's basically a tank killer at this point in time. Like, he needs to just buy Black Cleaver and hit Renekton and Maokai, because he's not gonna be able to do anything else. Like, Cassiopeia is way stronger than him. Cassiopeia is itemizing Hourglass. Not too sure if it's correct. I think he should just go straight up full AP. He should just buy Moretto now. I think Hourglass is definitely incorrect. Okay. Hard to kill him though. Oh, is the feast? Is the feast? No, he gets kited. Oh, there's a lot of tank damage going on Cho'Gath. But Rek'Sai is also dead. Rek'Sai is not that tanky. Oof. Let's take a step back. What's happening here? So, engage on Hans Sama. No Lucian here, so the burst is not that big. Hans Sama, like Ignar, is just peeling. And then good flash from Hans Sama. All during this time, we see that Max lore is a bit too deep. Like, Max lore is way too deep. Like, Max lore is committing on Sejuani, but that's not that great. I feel like Misfits, like these two, could have just waited. Like right here, these two, if they just wait, it's all good. But their position is kind of awkward. Let's take a step back again. Oh, Paravil is also missing his Q. Like, he missed his Q here. Oh, he didn't miss his Q. Mystic got hit, I think. Is Paravil being too scared here? Could Paravil do more? But Maxo just dies. Like, Maxo just dies. Alfari peels the Cho'Gath with his team. And then finally the Cho'Gath dies. Ooh, Hans Sama 1 HP, man. Well, I don't know. I'm looking at the situation and I like what I'm seeing from World Elite. They're just engaging while Misfits are out of position. Like, they are not in position. Like, these two are not together. These are gonna get cut off if World Elite just rush forward, right? They're cut off and need to take like a weird path into here, right? Then we play this a little bit. Power Evil does so little, I feel. Could he do more? Like, Maxo just ults in and dies. He was probably pretty dead in the first place, but he didn't do much. Like, he knocked up Sejuani, but doesn't matter. Like, Sejuani already ulted and Sejuani doesn't do anything here. Like, this knockup is really useless to die for, right? Doesn't do anything. So Maxo could have waited. In the case where Maxo waits, so let's say Maxo and Cassiopeia wait here, and World Elite push onward. Then maybe Misfits could just walk around here to group, and then Jana and Varos could kite downwards. Like if we... There. So if Misfits, Power Evil, they instead of walking here, they just walk straight here. And then Misfits just kite in that direction, and then Cassiopeia can peel everyone that is coming their way. I feel like that could have been a lot better then. Because Hans Sama survived on his own for a very long time, like together with Ignar, right? They survived because they used ultimates, and it just feels like this is way too close. This fight is way too close considering the gold. Maxo doesn't do anything with his knockup, and Power Evil also doesn't do anything from this position. So I feel like Misfit could have repaired this by walking towards bottom side. Fucking Hans Sama almost dies, man. And this is just in time for Infernal Drake, so couldn't be a better time for World Elite here. Power Evil was still pretty healthy, but Hans Sama was really low. He's eating some fruits. He's getting slowed by eating them, though. It's all that fatness and thickness, you know. It's like eating a Snickers, you know. You just slow down, you go into a food coma. Okay. So Hans Sama almost died. This is what we needed to highlight. And then it's very hard for Power Evil to reach a Kog'Maw, right? Kog'Maw is super fast and has the Lulu speed up, and he also has a lot of range, so he can hit Power Evil for free. Okay, it seems like World Elite, there's no way for Misfits to contest this. I don't know. I feel like this is very dangerous. Hans Sama's coming in from, like, is Hans Sama flanking? Like, what is he doing, man? What is the plan? Dude, what is this? What is he doing here? What is this? So if Misfits want to contest this, what is he actually trying to do here? Like, sure, if he's just going into mid lane to clear the wave, that's fine, right? But it doesn't make sense if his team is doing this. Like, what is he trying to aim for? He's gonna aim some sniper Qs? You know, this is not armor penetration. Varos. Really strange play. Like, I don't know. Like, it's fine if Hans Sama is like, we can't contest, we're walking away. But his team were like, it looked like they wanted to contest. And then they realized Cho'Gath has TP and they backed off. It could have ended worse if Cho'Gath had a better place at TP too, but we see this play again, where Maxo just dies. I don't think Maxo needs to die. I feel like Misfits just need to group up around this area. And then it's very fine what's happening, and they're actually in position for Drake and all that fun jazz, but like that, they lose Maxo for no reason, pretty much. Ooh! Okay. Kog'Maw, similar DPS items to Varos. The main thing is that Lulu is way better at buffing on one person than Jana is. Jana has like global peel, not global, but like this peel that she can use to everyone in her teammate, like everyone in her team, and also like she has a lot more AoE, CC, etc. She just provides more for a team, but for the individual Kog'Maw here, Lulu Kog is now way stronger. Oh, missing this flash. Oof. Ben is so low. Maxo is actually so squishy. You can see him like melting away. So at the moment someone touches him. But let's think for a second what is happening. So we saw Varos Jana clear the wave. You can see the vision from World Elite is that they see this area, they see this space. So right now, this is the area they don't see in right now. Boom. This is what they don't see. So there's no reason for World Elite to enter here at all. What World Elite need to do is walk forward together as 4. And then when they walk forward, then they can cut them off. And then it forces Misfits to go out. Because to be honest, if World Elite just take this path, then Jana and Varos are so out of position. They just need to walk through mid lane together here. Then these two people out of position. Oop. Let's continue. Instead, Mystic burns flash. They're all low. Misfits get something out of the situation. That's a flash from Janna, flash from Rek'Sai as well. So it's not too terrible, right? It's not too terrible. That was also a Sejuani flash and the Kog'Maw flash. But Varos, what happens? Well, what's happening, man? World Elite are just relentless, man. What's happening? So after this fight and Cho'Gath walking in here, Misfits is really out of position. So maybe, like, I don't know, maybe the play from Mystic is just good because they see Maokai here. So let's think about the reasoning. Like, his team is coming, right, and everyone's going, and they see Maokai. So what's the worst thing that can happen, right? The worst thing that can happen is Varos engages, and then Cho'Gath comes in here. But it still feels really risky, right? Like, it could have ended worse. Like, he could have... Like, to be fair, he has Cleanse, he has Flash. So there's not a lot of ways he can get caught. And Cho'Gath is coming in. So maybe it's just genius play that I didn't understand at first. Like, Maokai is visible. So this situation here is they're going to be 5v4. Because Cho'Gath is going to come in first. But Sejuani and Lucian... Well, to be fair, Cassiopeia is also top. I forgot about this too. So Cassiopeia is also top. I didn't think about that at all. So Mystic's play, like, it definitely makes sense here. Cho'Gath is coming in, Maokai is out of position, and then Hansama and Misfits here are really, really deep. Imagine here if Kondi's ult just hit, right? He flash ulted and he missed. If it hit, then we would have had a kill already there, and it was really close to hit. Like, Janna had flash, but Varos didn't, and eventually Varos just dies. So, to be honest, it's Misfits overstepping and World Elite just punishing it very well. Like, Cassiopeia was showing on top side, and it wasn't too bad. I feel like Power Revo should be hitting this turret instead of doing whatever he's doing. But seems like him backing off scared away World Elite. Okay. That was it. Cassiopeia top, Maokai out of position, Cho'Gath coming in first. If this Sejuani ult hits, then oof, would have been even deadlier. Cassiopeia, I don't know if she should stay to push top. Like, her going missing scared World Elite from pushing the next mid tower. Or the first mid tower even. It's reasonable. Cassiopeia on side, like, Lucian would have to match with her, and I think Cassiopeia still wins. She has itemized armor. Can't buy Ninja Tabi sadly on Cassiopeia, it's too useless. Zeke's Armguard's gonna do some good things against Lucian, but Lucian's grouping mid. Cassiopeia is responding by doing the same. I don't know if Cassiopeia should just push another wave here, and then just hope that Varos can clear the wave. But Sejuani's ultimate engage is so powerful now, because Varos has no way of getting out. You can see he's itemizing QSS, hopefully no Witsend. Because Witsend it's not that great here. Hopefully he's buying QSS and then he won't be able to get engaged on, but Alfari here, he should just die here. Huge Varos ultimate though. Ooh, Power of Evil. Going into suicide. Is this another repeat of Misfits? OP early game into into throw the game. Like, World Elite can legit do Baron. They have Blade of the Ruined King Lucian and they have a freaking Kog'Maw. Like, if they get Baron here, then like Maxwell needs to steal this. He needs to steal this. The enemy team is too good in early game. Like, I mean, the enemy team is too good in late game for this to, like, be fine. Hansama's dead. Okay, they can just continue. They can just continue doing the same, no? No Nasher? Cassiopeia is up. Okay, that's fine. Choga going bottom, big wave top. Either way, I want to take a step back. Oh, not mute. So let's take a look at the situation again. Alfari is coming in from the side. Misfits is in no position to follow up on this. Because look at this. You see Rek'Sai and Cassiopeia, they just did blue buff or some shit. I think they just did blue. Hans Sama is also out of position, and Kondi and his squad is completely grouped up together. Alfari is walking pretty deep here. Yeah, Alfari just walks pretty deep and his team is not in position to respond. He flashes away, ults, and then the Varus ult is pretty huge. It lands on a lot of people, but the follow-up DPS is just not there. Kondi zones off the Varus very well. And then Power Regal flashes in and no one can really follow up on his ultimate, and he's practically 1v5 after Maokai dies. Like Kondi plays this really, really well. Like look how Kondi plays this. He just runs towards Varus and zones him off. He doesn't allow like the enemy team to take any space here at all, and after that it's like easy pickings. So Worldly tried to do a Nasher. Misfits stop him, but Hans Sama dies for it. And then Worldly went for the base. QSS now ready on Varus. Alfari just takes a really bad path, I feel, into mid lane. It would be different if World Elite was not grouped, but in the case where they are grouped, he needs to take a safe path. Like sure, if enemy Cho'Gath is on bottom side and he's coming in from that angle, his team needs to be ready for that, you know, and he should go for it. But as it stands right now from that position, it was quite horrible. So now with the gold disparity, you know, I feel like Infernal Drake almost compensates for the gold disadvantage. You know, it's about a bit more than 3k, and Kog'Maw also scales very well, and like Lulu Kog'Maw specifically scale very well, and World Elite right now are definitely in a better position to win the game than Misfits, I feel. The lane assignments will still be Cassiopeia versus Lucian. Lucian's level 13 now. He's no longer that behind as before. He picked up a kill and he picked up a level advantage. And Kog'Maw Lulu can clear the waves in mid lane very easy. He's itemizing his Blade Rune King almost there, like halfway. Ocean Drake is the next Drake. And then like Sejuani versus Rek'Sai. Also Sejuani is heavily outscaling that. And I think Adaptive Helmet is a great buy against both Varus and Cassiopeia, because a lot of the damage that Varus does is magic damage, and that's important to remember here. You know, that's a big reason why they go Rek'Sai Varus together as well, is because he kind of compensates for the lack of AD damage. But right now, you know, Rek'Sai with his current build is not going to be that useful. To be honest, Rek'Sai with any build will not be useful. That's the problem, I think. Even if you build tank here, it's just going to melt anyway, so it might as well try to put yourself in a position where you have potential to do some damage to some important carry or something like this. So I like this approach. It's not like Karsa when he played Jarvan with Shen, that he needed to be some kind of engager or whatever. That's why I kind of complained about his build at that time when he went Black Cleaver and AD jungle item, because it worked at first because they had that Shen shield to make him tank enough, but later on it was just too hard to stay alive at all. He just got one-shotted. Also in like a Rift Herald fight that was quite important. So let's take a look at this again. Yeah, it looks like World Elite are nowhere to be found. after they push out mid lane here, then they kind of just scattered, and the Misfits just remain grouped, and World Elite kind of have to deal with the bottom wave. And Misfits are just walking up because no one's showing up, and they just want to walk up until they see someone. They clear the mid wave, and they have massive priority here. Kog'Maw Lulu shows up, but Lucian and Cho'Gath are still nowhere to be found. So they just start Nashor. Okay, that definitely works. They clear the vision and they force the hand of World Elite. Cho'Gath TP's in. Burns his TP. Misfits easily regroup, but the sacrifice here is the TP for mid priority. Misfits are pretty quick to go back in the mid lane and defend, and now the roles will be reversed. World Elite are going to be the ones pressuring Nashor. Most likely not going to start it. Misfits have enough vision. World Elite just want to clear it, and now Misfits are going to have the better position for the mid wave, while World Elite are going to try to walk around. Biggest share for World Elite is the fact that they have this big wave up top, and Lucian is now showing to take it. But after Kog'Maw cleared the mid wave, that's when he decided to show, and seems like everything's good because Misfits are just walking home. Misfits don't really have like some magical opportunity to push the turret because they're 4v5. Nah, it's not gonna happen because World Elite have enough wave clear and Misfits don't have a good enough engage. So Misfits still have like this potential if they are standing at the Baron, that if the enemy team walks into them, they can take the best possible fight that they can have. Where Cassiopeia kind of just gets a great ultimate, and Misfits just get to bash a lot of DPS in before anything happens from the Kog'Maw. That could be an option, but if they are forced to engage face on, that's not going to happen. World Elite have a pretty decent engage. QSS is ready though, and cleanse on Cassio, so it has to be on like one of the other targets. Mercury treads on the tanks though, so it makes it also a bit harder. But World Elite, if they are the ones starting Nashor, then it becomes a lot more difficult for Misfits to actually step in there, because they have the Cho'Gath, they also have the long range Kog'Maw, so it's all about space when it comes to this. And I feel like Misfits don't have a chance if they're walking into World Elite, and World Elite still have a chance if they're face checking, because they have like a Sejuani, which makes it fine, right? They also have the Cho'Gath to face check just in case, and it's very easy for Kog'Maw to just follow up. But there's the knock-up, gets flashed by Misfits. Alfari is allowed to flash it because of the mercs that helped him get out of the Sejuani stun, so the Cho'Gath Q gets a bit mistimed there. World Elite, just because they were at Nashor, they are the ones that lose position here from mid lane, and now it's reversed. Just a Baron dance. Misfits are now the ones taking vision. You can see they're all out of wards though, so eventually someone will have to base. Rek'Sai still has 2 wards in his pocket. Pink wards are placed down. No pink wards left on Misfits here except on Maokai. This is going to be a powerful position here for World Elite, because they're getting the top wave push without getting punished. So they're getting top wave push while they're clearing Baron vision, and then they can just walk to mid lane. I don't know if they should start Nashor here. They forced the enemy to move, so that's positive, but I feel like they could have pushed top wave, and then they could have gotten mid wave priority too, and then someone would have to catch top eventually, and then they could pressure pressure Nashor. I felt like they lost like a valuable pressure moment there, where they could have had both mid lane and top priority at the same time. They force Nashor, which is sometimes it's fine to try, right? Because you never know if your enemy just based too late, or enemy just has something going on for them. But it's a big deal here that World Elite don't have their outer towers and Misfits still have them. It gives them the space to, like, if Misfits have their outer towers, it's hard for World Elite to get deeper vision. That's one thing for sure. So it feels like as long as these turrets are standing, Misfits are always going to have an easy time finding a way to get vision at Baron. Lucian once again up top. Hourglass finished on Cassiopeia. I don't know, I think this Hourglass is useless. Useless. Like, it's fine because he lanes against Lucian, right? But in team fights, what's he gonna use this Hourglass for? Like, the Hourglass is not gonna do anything, man. He has cleanse already. Like, what does he want to Hourglass? I just really don't like it. So Cassiopeia is under the turret, but she walked in, and Lucian is coming at a similar time. I like what Kog'Maw is doing here. Like, he's trying to group up, right? But maybe the mistake in the first place is that he's fapping around quite a bit. Like, he should be grouping with his team right now instead of walking through mid lane, right? He should be grouping already, and he could have been here maybe earlier if he did so. He is clearing midway while this happens, and World Elite are just... like, Misfits are recognizing that Kog'Maw is out of position, and they're just trying to fight. World Elite are just trying to back off. They're waiting for Kog'Maw to do something out of this, and World Elite are just disengaging. Now it's a good time for them to reverse it. Mystic is very powerful. It's the Blader Rune King. He has the Ginsus. Does a shit ton of damage now. Crazy amounts of damage. Okay. Ooh. Holy moly. This Kog'Maw is just unkillable. Holy. It's just so hard for Misfits to reach this Kog. Sure, they're hitting the Cho'Gath, which is probably like the best case scenario here. Like, what else can they hit? I can't figure out a way where Misfits actually can kill the Kog. Like, Kog'Maw cleanse now, the Varus ultimate. Not sure if it needed to even. I'm just gonna move this here. Take a step back once again. So after that, World Elite are grouped. Are Misfits making a mistake by walking in here? They don't have Baron vision. They only have a ward right here. This is warded. They don't have vision on Baron, so they currently see the enemy team. So the moment they walk up for this mid wave, World Elite is gonna start Nashor, and the Nashor will die for sure. So they don't have that option. World Elite are just standing, and I just don't like the fact that Misfits get cut off so hard. Like, this Cho'Gath Q lands on Varus, which is really good, right? This Cho'Gath Q is pretty clutch, because it CCs Hans Sama long enough for him to not walk up here and Janna up here. Because this is where these people don't want to be here. They want to be here right now. And this Cho'Gath Q kind of fucks with Varus quite a lot, because they can't hit the Cho'Gath that is kind of out of position. So if we take a step back once again, we can see it. Like, Hans Sama his Q matters so much, because otherwise he would walk up here, and you could say the same for... yeah. Holy moly. Sejuani ult is insane. Also, it comes from a ridiculous angle. I don't know what the QSS is for. The QSS is the heal. So the Sejuani ult is full duration. Blader Rune King used by Mystic. And then... I just don't see how Misfits will ever kill the Kog'Maw without creating some insane situation. But this Cho'Gath Q is so clutch, because it really separates Misfits. It makes sure that they don't have time to walk upwards. He would have been about here right now, like this distance, and then it would have been fine. Everything would have been good. Like, he would have been here, and they would have hit these people, and World Elite's people would have been like out of position. Of course, Gondi and So will kite up here, and then it would be hard for these people to step in here. But just because the enemy team is so separated, they are allowed to push forward. Here they are so separated, and if anything, you know, maybe the mistake is also that Misfits frontline are chasing the Cho'Gath instead of stepping into here, where the redemption is. Because maybe these people should be going into here now. Because instead they're chasing and they're not actually contesting this space. And now they're separated, and World Elite are just gonna have a good time on the carries here. Yeah, I think this has to be a mistake from these three people as well. Like, they should have stepped into here, and I think it would have been better. Like, look at this. They could have also just, instead of running here, like, what is the plan? Is the plan that they disengage? Like, they could be walking towards here much earlier, right? The front line here of Misfits. But instead they're chasing after Choga and just doesn't work out, and then Misfits backline just gets attacked under heavy fire, and then Alfari is out of position, and then he dies. Choga Q was clutch, and then I think Misfits backline, they screw up. But then you ask yourself, like, did they have to be in this position to begin with? Like, they have enough wards here to spot the fact that the World Elite is not doing anything, right? So maybe, I don't know if they can send one to push the wave in mid. I don't know. They could potentially send one person to do the wave in mid. And then maybe the situation would have been better, where they're actually putting World Elite on a clock. But if Misfits are not putting them on a clock, then they can just stand there forever. And then eventually these wards will go away, they'll get pink warded, they'll get swept, maybe they'll just run out of time, and then Misfits will just have to face check another bush. But now, when they're chasing them, like, still, like, if someone goes up to the wave and pushes it, is it fine? Maybe they just send Maxlord to do it, because the rest of the members are just so important. Like, Maxlord just punches the turret, and then Misses just try to defend, and then they're in a situation at least where World Elite are forcing Nash, and then they can try to fight like that. Because if Rek'Sai is hitting mid tower, then Misfits, like, then World Elite need to force Nash. That's the only play. But Misfits are instead just walking in, and this is the situation where Varus gets queued. I don't know. I feel like Misfits' play was to just put Rek'Sai in mid, and then the rest of Misfits are just trying to be in position in case they start Nasher, and then Rek'Sai can just move if they do, and at least World Elite would be forced to start Nash. Like, Rek'Sai is not necessary to have there, right? I think Rek'Sai is the weakest member of the team, and his stealing powers, like, who cares, you know, they're playing against Choga. Of course I care now. Now it could mean a lot, but from before. So I don't know. I think Misfits could have potentially played it like a 4-1, and one pushes mid and punches the tower. And now, like, World Elite with their comp, they're so far ahead. They're so far ahead and so much stronger because they're even. Like, the gold, the 55k, it's like worth 75k for World Elite and their comp compared to the enemy teams. Let's go forward. Whoa. Kog'Maw damage. Oh, Maxlord. Lucian is overextending quite a bit here. He has flash. Ooh, the DPS. Ooh. Ooh, the flash now. Ooh. Oh, Lucian. Whoa. Nah. Blows. Okay. So he has no reason to pressure right now. Like, if anything, he should walk to river after killing this wave. Like, after he sees Cassiopeia, I think he should just walk into river, but instead he just goes for the trade. Like, World Elite are not working with a lot of vision right now. Like, the map is not red at all, and I think the play for Lucian was to just roam into river after this happened. Like Cassiopeia claimed wave on the turret and then just... Sure, Lucian could also stay here, right? And just hide in the bush, but... he definitely shouldn't like dash forward towards Power of Evil. The other play would be to just flash in the direction here. Like if he flashes here and goes towards here, then the Choga TP is going to be enough to save, I think, Lucian. And then would have been also fine. But Lucian is kiting away from it. Like Lucian has dash in like 1 second now. He needs to like flash now and then E. He could also like, if his E is off cooldown, he could also E the other direction, right? And it would have been fine, but I think he just kited the wrong direction. But to be fair, like he shouldn't get caught in the first place. Like World Elite are hitting mid tower and they are very happy with the fact that they can. No one on Misfits is showing, Janna wasn't showing, Rek'Sai wasn't showing, and it was just a bit unnecessary here for Lucian to die. He could have played the situation better by letting Cho'Gath save him, but I don't think he should have gotten caught in the first place. Like, I get it that he wants to spread the Nasher, but after he pushed in and Cassiopeia is showing on the wave, he should just be grouping with his team, especially because he doesn't see anyone else on the map. Well, Lito is still pushing without Lucian. They don't seem to give a fuck. They just keep pushing, keep pushing. Oh my goodness, will he time the fl? No, it didn't time the fl. I mean, the Kog'Maw ultimate, of course. That's the root. Mystic is quite low here. Flash, good flash from Varus. Forces Mystic to flash out as well. Good fight from Misfits. I think it's just a bit too greedy here by World Elite. The way they walk forward. A bit too far. No cleanse as well used on Kog'Maw. Like he could have cleansed a bit earlier and gotten into a better position and kept hitting something. Like he just, like right here, he just doesn't cleanse. Like he doesn't cleanse and he gets queued by Maokai, which is pretty bad. Like right there, bam, he should have cleansed and walked away and cut it backwards, and then maybe he would have gotten more damage into Maokai. Wouldn't get the flash on top of Varus. But all in all, it's just over eagerness here. Like, sure, if they time the thing properly on Power of Evil, but after that, it's I think W goes off on Kog'Maw, and he's no longer spitting mad bars. He's just spitting rhymes that don't rhyme. Does some damage still though, but still his W is so important for the range. I think it's just a overextension here from World Elite, plain and simple. Like Kog'Maw gets Varus ulted, doesn't cleanse, Lulu dies, gets one-shotted. I guess the Varus ultimate is quite clutch here more than anything, and I think the issue, if they want to get the tower here, like Cassiopeia is in base, right, so it's not a number problem. It's just that Kog'Maw and Lulu should be standing behind their tanks, so they don't get Varus ultimate, because without this Varus ultimate, this doesn't happen, and everything is fine. Because the problem is that both Lulu and Kog'Maw get zoned out of the fight, which allows the enemy team to hit the Cho'Gath for free, and then the game just looks different. Oh, the ult, we will see the ult from Maxlore. Oh, lands it. Chicken nugget. Okay, plain and simple. I think World Elite should have stood behind the front line. And Mystic also had QSS. Like, I didn't even realize, but he has QSS. I don't think it's necessary because he has cleanse, but he has cleanse, QSS, and then he dies. Like, he could have moved a lot if we just cleansed that Varus ultimate. And then, of course, Lulu shouldn't be standing behind. Like, ooh, what the hell? Like, Lulu shouldn't be standing in front. I just want to take a look at the situation again and see where Lulu was standing. So Lulu gets the first hand ult. Yeah, it's the first hand ult on Lulu. And like if Kog'Maw was tanking that, he could just QSS and Lulu could walk away. That could be also a way to play it. But the only reason World Elite lose here is because the Varus ult hits 2 core people and QSS is not used, cleanse is not used from Kog'Maw. And then Zaya here. Zaya. Let's see what happens. He just dodges that Cassiopeia ult and hits a full clear. Holy moly. LPL Lucians, man. This was really mistimed, like this was quite terrible. Both the Q and the Kog'Maw ult, like everything could have just been timed for the one shot, but I guess Cassiopeia Hourglass is just OP, man. I'm just kidding, it's pretty bad, I think. Lucian obviously wasn't in that fight, and Varus was hitting tanks. Varus hitting tanks with his build is pretty juicy, but there's no blade, there's no withstand, so he went for IE approach. Gives him the opportunity to maybe kill the Kog'Maw and some auto attack traits. I think that's the strength of Infinity Edge. Like, they have enough DPS to kill tanks already, so Infinity Edge, at least when he's hitting squishy targets, means more. So he can trade hits with the Lucian, trade hits with the Kog'Maw potentially, but he has to be lucky. He has to crit. So let's see. Both objectives spawn around the same time. Will lead to pushing up mid the entire time though. It's hard for Misfits to find an engage unless they have like a TP wall behind. Alphara didn't even have TP though, so that's unfair to ask for, but Kog'Maw showing bottom here is going to be enough for Misfits to walk up all the way and push up all the way and potentially play some wards. I think a way for them to commit to fight would be with a Maokai TP and then potentially just one-shot the Lulu, but one-shotting the Kog'Maw is really hard to do because he has cleanse, QSS, and there are very little ways for him to die. He also has Infinity Edge right now, so, you know, he also has that luck involved now in his all attacks, and it could get a very rough here for Varus. That would be the issue all along, you know, how do they deal with Kog'Maw, and there's just no way. Seems like Misfits are just going for the trade. They're getting Elder Dragon. I think it's the best thing they could have hoped for, you know. To be honest, you know, them contesting Baron is just an impossibility. So that's fine. Maybe with Elder Dragon they can win a fight, but even then, you know, they only have one Drake, so it's not that impressive. Like, the buff doesn't do that much damage, and the TP comes in now from Maokai though. Fighting with Elder is going to be the best chance. Big wave on bottom was cleared by Lucian. Lucian goes for the base. He has QSS 2 now. It's going to be hard for Maokai to be super effective. There's a lot of mercs, a lot of QSSs. Same could be said for Sejuani, right? And the tanks right now are pretty much just meatloafs, unless Cho'Gath can find like really good Qs and really good feasts. It's like one of the strengths of Cho'Gath, I would say, is that his knockup is, sure, you can cleanse it and flash away, but you can't cleanse it and then just move. I'm still trying to figure out a way for Misfits to really win this game. And fighting with Elder Dragon, I felt like was their best option, but that has completely... The Elder Dragon is already out, so... I'm drinking green tea with dried apples. Tastes really nice. So let's think about what happened this game. We had some major deficits. We had Mystic trolling a bit in the bot lane. He died. He gave Hansama a massive advantage, and then Misfits just dove bottom, got a kill, got a tower. They snowballed their advantage. World Elite got an Infernal Drake somehow, I don't remember exactly why. World Elite also got a bottom tower, while Misfits got Rift Herald and mid and top tower. Misfits were just snowballing, they were about 7k gold ahead. And then World Elite just got like these small team fights where Misfits got like lost one person. And I felt like Misfits were just playing it wrong when they were ahead. They had Cassiopeia pushing top and they just had no patience. They were trying to do too many things while World Elite was grouped. And I think that was a massive issue. And then Misfits, they played that situation with the Infernal quite bad. Yeah, now I remember now. That the situation with Infernal Drake, why World Elite got the Infernal Drake was Maxlore was playing the fight very wrong, he got killed, and then Choga got killed as well, but he managed to take Varos really low on HP, and then we had the Infernal Drake situation where World Elite got back a bit. And ever since then, like World Elite just got a few kills there, and eventually they caught up back up. The cleanse appears for Alfari, he's a sad panda now. Oof. All the flashing, Alfari is pretty low, heals a lot from his passive though. Stun on Janna, yeah, the game is over. The main problem here, the Misfits just didn't, I feel like they didn't have patience with Cassiopeia and top. They didn't play the split push game properly. They could have just kept farming mid lane, and then they could have pushed up top and could have just played with the idea here that they had pressure on every lane. World Elite were just grouping, and the moment they were grouping, they just had to have patience. And it seems like we're going to a tiebreaker with TSM and Misfits. It's crazy. This is the second game Misfits lose with like an 8k gold advantage. Like this happened a lot in regular split as well, where they had like big goal advantages and then just threw it. And this time around, I feel like they just didn't respect World Elite when they were grouping. They were just getting caught off in strange positions, in bad positions, and going into the next match, we need to pay attention to it, because Misfits, they have lost a lot of games where they were really far ahead, and I think that's a massive problem. And I think the main issue is they just don't know how to manage the side lanes properly, and when the enemy team is grouping up, they are not respecting it, and they get engaged on from bad positions. It happened against TSM, it happened now against World Elite. We will just have to see in the tiebreaker, I guess. It's going to be quite exciting. Let's look ahead. Thank you for watching. I feel like I need to take a nap, man. I was falling asleep in this game.